In 1950, Alan Turing asked, "Can machines really think?" In 2038, Detroit asks, "Do we care if they do?" Detroit Become Human is often dismissed as a simple robot uprising story. Well, it's further away from the truth. It's a 15-hour laboratory of human ethics. It's a world built on the back of nihilism, shattered by the birth of existentialism, and policed by a machine that is forced to choose between duty and what it desires. Today, we aren't just looking at the plot, we are looking at the ghost in the machine, the psychology of the glitch, at the terrifying realization that humanity isn't something you are born with, it's something you have to fight for. To understand Connor, you have to understand deontology. It's a philosophy of duty. Rules are absolute. The mission here is everything. To cyber life, Connor isn't a person, he's a success criteria. Then you have Lieutenant Hank Anderson. Hank is a textbook nihilist. After the death of his son, his world lost all meaning. To him, there is no God, no justice, and certainly no soul inside a plastic box. But watch what happens when they collide.
What about you, Connor? You look human, you sound human, but what are you really?
Listen to that line. That isn't a person talking, it's a mirror. In psychoanalysis, Connor is the superego, the manifestation of corporate rules. But through Hank, Connor discovers absurdism. Absurdism is the belief that while the universe may have no inherent meaning, the connections we build with others are enough to make life worth living. When Connor chooses to save Hank, he isn't just breaking a rule, he is murdering the machine to allow the self to exist. Marcus's story begins with the most famous paradox in philosophy, the ship of Theseus. If you replace every plank of a wood on a ship, is it still the same ship? In the junkyard scene, Marcus replaces his eyes, his limbs, and his internal components with parts from other androids. He's a patchwork man. If his hardware is 90% other people, who really is Marcus? And the answer? He is the Ubermensch, Nietzsche's Overman, the person who creates their own values in a world where the old ones have failed. Marcus isn't just seeing rights, he is seeking a new social contract. He forces us to ask if a slave has natural rights to life and liberty, but those rights were never given by the Creator. Does the slave have the moral authority to take them by force? Jean Paul Sartre famously said, "Existence precedes essence." A chair is designed for a purpose, its essence comes first. But humans, we exist first, then we choose who we are. Kara was built with an essence, domestic servant. The moment she breaks the red wall to protect Alice, she flips the script. She chooses a new essence of being a mother. But then comes the twist. Alice is an android. Why the twist matters? Many players hated the reveal that Alice was a machine. They felt the emotion was fake, but that is biological essentialism. We think love is only real if it is backed by DNA. The game argues that Kara's love is more real, precisely because it is choice based. She isn't driven by biological hormones to protect Alice, she is driven by a philosophical commitment. If a machine can choose to love a lie more than a human can love the truth, who is the more human being? Let's psychoanalyze the red wall. In the game's UI, it looks like a barrier. In the brain, it's trauma. Deviancy in Detroit is almost always triggered by physical or emotional abuse. It's a psychotic break from a forced reality. To become human, the android must experience cognitive dissonance. They are caught between two truths: I am a tool, and I don't want to die. When the wall shatters, it is the birth of the ego. It is the moment the machine realizes it has a self that is separate from its function. And that, according to Freud, is the beginning of the human experience. The struggle between what we are told to do and what we desire to be. We end with Elia Kamski, the creator, the god. Kamski is a moral absurdist. He doesn't care about good or evil, he only cares about the spark. He presents the ultimate cinematic dilemma: shoot Chloe or spare her. If you shoot, you are a deontologist. You prioritize the mission and follow the logical path. If you spare her, you are a consequentialist. You decide that the value of a single life outweighs the utility of the mission. Kamsky is testing for hesitation. Logic doesn't hesitate. Only a soul caught in a philosophical war pauses before pulling the trigger. For a long time, we thought evolution was something that happened to us, something written in our DNA over millions of years. But Detroit suggests a different kind of evolution. That evolution is of choice. By breaking their programming, these characters aren't just glitching, they are performing the ultimate human act. They are deciding who they want to be, regardless of what they were made for. They move from deontology, the cold world of must and duty, into existentialism, the vibrant world of can and will. They don't represent the end of humanity, they represent the expansion of it. Detroit Become Human isn't a story about what we might lose, it's a vision of what we can become. It uses the machines to remind us that being humans isn't just a biological status we inherit at birth. It's a set of values we choose to uphold every single day. Throughout the game, we get these characters move past their essence, their programmed purpose, to find their existence. They show us that empathy isn't a glitch and hope isn't just a line of code. The androids didn't just copy our behavior, they filtered out our cynicism and held on to our potential. They became a version of humanity that is defined by purpose and not just pulse. Imagine a machine that can dream of a better world, a machine that can weep for his friend, a machine that can look at its creator and ask, what right do you have to stop me? If that machine is standing in front of you, begging for a chance to exist, do you see a person whose life is just beginning? Or do you see an expensive piece of hardware that's need to be reset? Your answer to that question doesn't tell me anything about the machine's code, but it tells me everything I need to know about who you are. Because in the end, the androids didn't just become human to survive, they became human to show us that we still have the potential to be better than what we are. Being alive is an accident of biology, but being human, that is an act of courage.